Hello and welcome back to this week's market update. Before we jump in the video today, if you like this video, if you find it informational, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions. It really helps out the channel. Let's jump right into inventory. Inventory is up week over week from 17,295 to 17,773. But the good news is that the supply of new listings is starting to fall. We are seeing only a 2.8% increase week over week, which is continuing to decrease. While it is still considerably more than the current market needs, at least it's not an increasing trend anymore. We may just be reaching an equilibrium sooner than later. We could be peaking percentage-wise and slowing down because interest rates are very much slowing down. We saw rates continue to dip, and right now, according to Fox Business, some lenders are having rates below 5%. This hasn't happened for 2 days in a row since early April when those rates were on the way up. Let's talk about why this is happening. Mortgage rates are tied very closely to the 10-year Treasury yield, amongst other things. We have been seeing record inflation, and the Treasury bond yield, or return you get with investing in this fixed money product, has been going up. This is because as prices inflate, investors demand higher yield or return on their money. So as Treasury yield goes up, another fixed money product being mortgage-backed securities also needs to see their investment return go up. They are getting this return by charging the consumer more for getting a loan. In example, mortgage rates are going up. Now, inversely, if this Treasury yield starts to go back down, so does the expected return on mortgage-backed securities, meaning interest rates come back down. And this is all controlled by the market and kind of how the market sees news coming in. Another interesting point is that the Fed's monetary policy, or in this case, what they're doing to control inflation, has a lag in reaction by the consumer. Jerome Powell said they will slow rate hikes from here as we are already seeing a decline in spending by the consumer. Basically, they're saying, okay, we've done enough is what it looks like. Let's chill out for a bit and see where this goes. And the markets are actually reacting really well to this, aka the Fox Business article with interest rates dipping into the 4s. Sort of complicated, but summarized, rates are momentarily coming back down because signs that inflation is peaking. Let's move on to the Cromford report. We are looking closer and closer to a neutral market day after day. We will see what happens with the CMI after interest rates drop a bit, but the CMI lags quite a bit. So we won't see that change for at least a few weeks if interest rates continue to hover where they're at and come down from the all-time high just a few weeks ago. We can see that the CMI, I'm going to look off screen here, is 123.5. The supply index is 65.6, and the demand index is 81, just over 81. So the demand coming down. We're not way into the red, but you were definitely into the red. CMI's come down quite a bit. And then, supply is going up a little bit, but we're still really in the green with supply just because we don't really have the supply of houses that we need for this market, just like in the system, being like having already been built. We're obviously seeing a lot of houses come to market and be a part of the current supply, but not enough for what the current market demands. One thing I do want to point out is the monthly median sales price, as well as the monthly average sales price per square foot. Both of these charts seem to point that prices are coming down. One thing to point out, though, is that this could be for a few different reasons. One being investors with rentals on them that they own could be trying to get out. I've pointed this out before, but the majority of houses that are currently on the market are actually vacant, meaning that they have no one living in them. This could be like iBuyers, like Open Door and OfferPad, like we talked about last week, but also people that want to get rid of their investments and cash out on those huge returns that they saw the past 2 years. All of what we are seeing is in favor of the buyer in this market, meaning if you are a first-time buyer and need to get into a bigger home, you're going to be much more likely in finding a home that suits you, and you can be a little bit more picky. This is because there's less competition of buyers, because there's less affordability, but also more listings to give you more choices. You'll be able to pay appraised price or possibly even less and get maybe some closing costs paid for. Maybe this, means less money out of pocket for you when you actually go to buy a home. They say marry the house, date the rate. And this is something I want to drive home because we are likely going to see interest rates come back down, because as we head into a recession, we're in a technical recession now, but as the Fed starts to accept, oh man, consumers are really cutting back on spending, we're going to have a consumer recession, meaning consumers are not spending money anymore and GDP is going down and down and down. They're going to want to basically encourage consumers to go out and spend, meaning they're going to make money more accessible to them, meaning interest rates coming back down. Moving on to kind of practical with my own clients, I'm seeing, a lot of people are staying kind of dormant during this time because there is uncertainty happening, which is totally valid. I just personally don't see a crash coming because of the current supply. We may continue to see a tick down in median sales price and price per square foot, but once interest rates come back down again, we're going to see a demand increase like crazy, and house prices are going to go right back up to where they were and most likely above where they once were. The only thing that could really change this in my mind is really legislation. Basically, to no longer allow single-family homes to be a part or be an investment vehicle to institutions, which I really just don't see happening anytime soon, because we've talked about it before, but once an institution gets a hold of a single family home, they're really not going to let go of it. They're going to sell it to a bigger institution, and then that institution, once they're done with it, is going to package it and sell it with a whole package of other houses to another institution. We likely will really never see those houses bought by institutions ever come back on the market for you and I to look at and buy. But that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me in this week's market update of the Phoenix greater area. If you like this video, if you find it informational, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, comment if you have any questions at all. As always, my name is Rhodes with Team CR Realty, where Arizona real estate is seen.